Silavanto gunavanto Panyavanto meacharito Karunaya dhamman veseti Garavena namami sada Anumodetva imam kurya Apoto amata Silavanto gunavanto Panyavanto meacharito Karunaya dhamman namami sada
Speaker. Yeah. Oh ya, Vesakha. Ah, Vesakha terus terus dana.
जी, ये जो हाथों में था काफी देती है ना ना apa jalan itu ni tuh kalau coba jadi apa kecil
Vesakha terus terus dana. Excuse me, आप लोग साइड दीजिए।
सर एक ही मिनट हमारा हो जाएगा फिर बाद में चला जाएगा।
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಿಕ್ಷು ಸಂಘಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಉಪಾಸಕಿಯರಿಗೆ ಈ ಪವಿತ್ರ ಬುದ್ಧ ಜಯಂತಿಯ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಬುದ್ಧ ವಂದನೆ, ಬುದ್ಧ ಪೂಜೆ, ಧ್ಯಾನ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈ ಬುದ್ಧ ಜಯಂತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಬುದ್ಧ ಪೂಜೆಯನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ. I very heartily welcome all the whole Sangha here and Upasakas and Upasikas to this very auspicious Buddha Purnima Puja. Now we are going to start the puja. We dedicate this puja to one and all of you, all your family members. May you all be happy and well, be healthy, and learn the teachings of the Buddha. Make it your own, make it your part of life, and experience the bliss of the Dhamma, the bliss of freedom, happiness. That's why we all have come here together to worship the Buddha even after 2600 years. So now, Kassapa Banteji, our most venerable abbot and the president of Mahabodhi Society, under him the Bhikkhu Sangha, we will all chant together. You also join for chanting if you know. If you don't know, then you do meditation. ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಬುದ್ಧ ವಂದನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಜೊತೆಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡಿ. ಫೋಕಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಆನ್ ಬ್ರೀದಿಂಗ್, ಇನ್ ಬ್ರೆತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಬ್ರೆತ್. ಉಸಿರನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೂಗಿನ ಹೊಳ್ಳೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರಿ. ವಾಚ್ ಯುವರ್ ಬ್ರೆತ್ in your nostrils. That is very, very powerful puja if you can do that meditation. And today we are going to chant very special sutta, that is Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the very first discourse of the Supreme Buddha, which enunciates the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path, and how Lord Buddha out of compassion has taught to the whole universe. So keeping this in your mind with full of gratitude, reverence and joy, join this puja. Those who would like to take Ashtashila, 8 precepts, now it is time, because you have to eat before 12 o'clock. So I request you to go and have lunch and come back. By the time we finish our puja, you come back and then you can take Ashtashila after the puja. Trisarana, Panchashila, Ashtashila will be given. So those ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಅಷ್ಟಶೀಲ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋರು ಇಚ್ಛೆ ಉಳ್ಳವರಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ದಯಮಾಡಿ ಈಗ ಹೋಗಿ ನೀವು ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ. All others, you will have lunch after the puja and program at 1 o'clock. कौन सा आता है, कौन सा क्लियर है? है क्या? नहीं है ना, चलेगा। लीड करेगा, हम लोग फॉलो नहीं। आवाज जाता है क्या? जाता है पूरा सबका आवाज जाता है सामने से, बाहर का माइक लगा। बेल मारो, अच्छा से जोर से मारो।
अरहं सम्मा सम्बुद्धो भगवान् बुद्धं भगवन्तं अभिवादेमि। स्वागतो भगवता धम्मो धम्मं नमस्सामि। सुपरिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संघो संघं नमामि। नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा। नमो तस्सा भगवतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा। नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा। इति पिसो भगवारहं सम्मा सम्बुद्धो विच्चाचरणसम्पन्नो सुगतो लोकविदो अनुत्तरो पुरुषधम्मसारथिः। ธังวันมิสัพพดานาทิเมสรณังอัญญังบุตโธเมสรณังวรังเอเตนะสัจจวัจเจนะโหตุเตจยมังอุตตมังเยนะวันเดหังบาดปังโสวโรมังบุตเตโยคลิโตโดโสบุตโตธรรมตุมะมังบุตตังยาวานิพพานะปริยันตังสรณังกัจฉามิ สวากขาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมสันเดติโกอะกาลิโกเอหิปัสสิโกโอปะนัยโกปัจจตังเวดิตัมโพวิญโยเหเตนะตัสสนิยานิกัสสะธัมมัสสะเยจะธัมมาเตตาจะเยจะธัมมาอนาคตปัจจุบันนาจะเยธัมมาหังวันตามิสัพพะนาติเมสรณังอัญญังบุตโตโมสรณังวรังเอเตนะสัจวัจเจนะโหตุเตจยมังกลังอุตตมัญเยนะเนหังธัมมัญจติวิดังวรังธัมเมโยคลิโตโดโสธรรมขมัตตุตังมะมะธัมมังยาวานิพพานะปริยันตังสรณังกัจฉามิ สุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอุจุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆญาณปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสามิจิปฏิปันโนภะคะวะ สาวกสังโฆยติตังจัตตาริปุริสยุกานิอัตถปุริสปุกขลาเอสาภะคะสาวกสังโฆหุเนยโยปาหุเนยโยตักขิเนยโยอัญจลิกรณีโยอนุตตรังปุญญเกตังโลกัสสะยะปุกขลามหาสังฆัสสะเยจะสังฆาติตาจะเยจะสังฆาอนาคตปัจจุบันนาจะเยสังฆาหังวันโตมิสัพพะนาติเมสรณังอัญญสังโฆเมสรณังวรังเอเตนะสัจเจนะโหตุเตจยมังกลังอุตตมัญเยนะวันเดหังสังฆัสสิวิโดธรรมสังเยโยคลิโตโดโสสังโฆขมัตตุมะมะสังฆายาวานิพพานะปริยันตังสรณังกัจฉามิ เอ Evaṃ buddha sarantana dhammaṃ sanghaṃ ca pe bhayam vācam vitātaṃ vālo mahanso nahesate ghanasa Sambuddhaṃ pujayāmi tamono gandha sambhārayotena dupena sugandhena Janamottamam Vannagandha Gunopetaṃ Kusumasandate Pujayami Munindassa Siripada Sarorohe Nikodhaṃ Kusumena Nena Punyena Medena Chahotu Mokhaṃ Nilaya Deyatha Idam Mekhayo Tathaya Divina Sabhavam Niro Samapatito Udahitva Nisinna Viya Bhagava Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iminadhipena Dupe Opena Puje Mi Imam Deva Pujadinama Sakala Sambuddhanam Bacheta Buddha Akasavakanam Mahasavakanam Arahanta Bhakati Silang Aham Pitesang Anuvattako Homi Imani Panivanne Napi Suvannang Gandhe Napi Sugandha Sandhane Susandhanam Kipameva Dupanando Gandando Nang Pabunisade Evameva Karanicca Sabbe Sanghara Dukkha Sabbe Dhamma Anatta Maya Dhamma Nudhamma Padipatiya Buddham Puje Imaya Dhamma Nudhamma Padipatiya Dhammam Puje Imaya Dhamma Nudhamma Padipatiya Sangham Puje Vandami Cetiyam Sabbam Sabbadhane Supachedam Saririkadhato Mahabodhim Buddharupam Sakalam Sada Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Vipatti Padivahaya Sabba Sambatti Siddhiyas Dukkam Vinasaya Sabba Bhayam Vinasaya Sabba Rop Vinasaya Bhavedika Ya paritam tam banamahe samanta cakkavale atra gachantu devata saddhammam munirajassa sunat Namo tathang dhamma savana kalo ayam bhaganda dhamma kalo ayam bhaganda dhamma savana ayam bhaganda paritta savana kalo ayam bhaganda Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa evam me sutang ekang samayang bhagava varanasiyang viharati sipatane migadai tatra ko pancavayam sevakye beko amande se dve me kame anda papajite nana sevita bhagatame dve yo chayam kame sukama sukhang likano yo no dhammo bodhjaniko anariyo anatha sanghito yo cha attakilamathanu yogo do anariyo anatha sanghito ete ko bhikkhave ubho ande anupagama majjhima patipatta tathagatena abhisambuddha cakkukarane jnanakara upasamaya abhinyaya sambodhaya nibbana samvattate gatamaca sabhikkhave majjhima patipada tathagatena abhisambuddha cakkukarane jnana samaya abhinyaya sambodhaya nibbana samvattate ayameva ariyo atthangiko ma seyatidang sammadite samma sankappo samma va samma kammanto samma ajivo samma vayamo samma samadhi ayam kosa bhikkave majjhima tathagatena abhisambuddha cakkukarane jnanakara upasamaya abhinyaya sambodhaya nibbana samvattate idam kopana bhikkave dukkhang ariyasa jati dukkha jara dukkha vyadhi dukkha maranam abhiyehi sampayogo dukkha abhiyehi vipayogo dukkha yambe nalabate tambe dukkha sanjitena panchupadana khanda Idam kopana bhikkhave dukkha samudayam ariyasa yayantanha pono bhavika nandira sahagata tatra tatra bhinandini seyate Kamatanha bhavatanha vibhavatanha idam kopanabe dukkha nirodham ariya satcha yodasayeva tanhaya ase raga nirodho chakopati nisaggo mutti anat Idam kopana bhikkhave dukkha nirodha ghamini patipada ariya sayameva ariyo arhanjiko maggo seyate sammadipti samma sankappo samma Samma kamando samma ajivo samma vaya samma sati samma samadhi idam dukkhaṃ ariyasa time bhikkhave buddhe ananussute sudhamme sochakko mudapa Jnanam udapade panya udapade vijja udapa aloko udapade dangho panidam dukkhaṃ ariyasa parinyeyanti me bhikkhave buddhe ananussute sudhamme socha Udapade jnanam udapade panya udapade vijja udapade aloko udapade dhamma panidam Ariya satcham parinyatanti me bhikkhave buddhe Sudhamme sochakko mudapade jnanam udapade panya udapade vijja udapade aloko udapade idam dukkha samudayam ariya satchandi me bhikkhave buddhe anat Sudhamme sochakko mudapade jnanam udapade panya udapade vijja udapade aloko udapade dhamma panidam dukkha samudayam ariya satcham pahatappanti me me ananussute sudhamme sochakko mudapade jnanam udapade panya udapade vijja udapade aloko udapade dhamma panidam ariya satcham parinanti me bhikkhave buddhe ananussute sudhamme sochakko mudapade jnanam udapade panya udapade vijja udapade aloko udapade idam dukkha nirodham ariya satchandi me bhikkhave buddhe ananussute sudhamme sochakko Vicha Udapadi Aloko Udapadi Tango Panidando Paniro Ariya Sacha Sachikata Pandini Bhikkhave Anano Sude Sudhamme Socha Mudapadi Jnana Mudapadi Panya Udapadi Vicha Aloko Udapadi Tango Panidando Paniro Ariya Sacha Sachikatandi Me Bhikkhave Bhukve Anano Sude Sudha Socha Komudapadi Jnana Mudapadi Panya Udapadi Vicha Udapadi Aloko Udapadi Idando Kanirodhagamini Padipa Ariya Sachandi Me Bhikkhave Bhukve Sakumudapadi Jnana Mudapadi Panya Udapadi Vicha Udapadi Aloko Udapadi Dhammo Panida Dukkha Nirodhagamini Patipada Ariya Sat Bhavita Bandi Me Bhikkhave Bhukve Anano Sude Sudamme Socha Udapadi Jnana Udapadi Panya Udapadi Vicha Udapadi Aloko Udapadi Dhammo Panidando Panirodhagamini Patipa Ariya Sacha Bhavitandi Me Bhikkhave Bhukve Tamme Socha Komudapadi Jnana Udapadi Panya Udapadi Vicha Udapadi Aloko Udapadi Yavaki Panchami Bhikkhave Ime Sochato Ariya Sache So Evandi Parivar Vadasakara Yatha Bodha Jnana Dasana Naso Viso Ahose Nevatavaham Bhikkhave Sadeva Kedo Samarake Samramake Sas Yapajaya Sadeva Manusaya Anuttara Samma Sambo Abhisambuddho Deva Nyase Yato Chakumi Bhikha Ine Sochato So Ariya Sache So Evandi Parivar Dvadasakara Yatha Bodha Jnana Dasana Suviso Ahose Athaham Bhikkhave Sadeva Kelo Samarake Saframake Sasamana Brahmani Pajaya Sadeva Manusaya Anuttara Samma Sambodh Abhisambuddho Dipachanya Se Jnanan Chapana Dasana Udapade Akopami Cheto Vimutti Ayamanti Maja Nati Dani Punabhavoti Idamavo Attamana Panchavakya Bhikkhu Bhagavad Bhasitam Abhinandante Imasmin Chapana Viyakarana Bhanyamane Ayasmato Kundanya Savira Vekamala Dhammachakko Mudapadi Yankinti Samu Dhamma Sambandha Nirodha Dhamma Bhavati Te Chapana Bhagavata Dhammachakko Bhumma Deva Satamanusa Veso Etam Varanasiya Isipatane Migadaye Anu Dhammachakka Bhavati Dhammapadivati Samanena Va Brahmanena Va Devena Va Marena Brahmana Vakena Chiva Lokasmin De Bhummanam De Satang Sotva Chatu Maharajika Deva Sat Soetam Bhagavata Varanasiyam Isipatane Migada Anuttara Dhammachakam Bhavati Dhammapadivati Samanena Va Brahmanena Va Devena Va Malena Brahmana Vakena Chiva Lokasmin De Chatu Maharaji Devana Satang Sotva Vatimsa Deva Satamanusa Veso Etang Bhagava Varanasiyam Isipatane Migadaye Anuttara Dhamma Bhavati Dhammapadivatiya Samanena Brahmanena Va Devena Va Marena Va Brahmana Kena Chiva Lokasmin De Davating Sanam Deva Satang Sotva Yamade Saveso Etam Bhagavata Varanasiyam Isipata Migadaye Anuttara Dhammachakam Bhavati Apadivatiya Samanena Va Brahmanena Va Devena Marena Va Brahmana Vakena Chiva Lokasmin Yamanam Devanam Satang Sotva Tusita De Satamanusa Vesong Etam Bhagavata Varanasiyam Patane Migadaye Anuttara Dhammachakam Bhavati Dhamma Samanena Va Brahmanena Va Devena Va Marena Va Brahmana Vakena Chiva Lokasmin De Tusita Devanam Satang Sotva Nimmanarati De Satamanusa Vesong Etam Bhagavata Varanasi Isipatane Migadaye Anuttara Dhammachakka Bhavati Dhammapadivatiya Samanena Va Brahmanena Devena Va Marena Va Brahmana na chiva lokasmin de nimmanarate devanam satang sotva paranimmitavasavattino de satamano saveso etam bhagavata varana nemigadaya anuttara dhammacakam bhava apadivateya samanena va brahmanena va devena marena va brahmana va kena chiva lokasmin paranimita vasavatina devanam sa sotva brahma parisacca deva satamano save etam bhagavata varanasiyam isipatane migata anuttara dhammacakam bhavatidam apadivat samanena va brahmanena va devena va marena brahmana va kena chiva lokasmin de brahma parisaccanam de nasatang sotva brahma purohita deva satamano Vesong etang bhagavata varanasiyang isipata anuttara dhammacakam bhavatidam apadivat samanena va brahmanena va devena va marena va brahmana kena chiva lokasmin de brahma purohitanam de nang satang sotva mahabrahma de satamano savesang etang bhagavata varanasi isipatane megadaye anuttara dhammacakam bhava apadivateya samanena va brahmanena vena va marena va brahmana va kena chiva lokasmin de mahabrahmanam deva satang sotva paritabha deva satamano vesong etang bhagavata varanasiyang isipata migadaye anuttara dhammacakam Pavatidang apadivatya samanena va brahmanena devena va marena va brahmana kena chiva lokasmin de paritabhanam de nang satang sotva appamana bhade sadamano savesong etang bhagavata varanasi isipatane megadaye anuttara dhammacakam pavatidang apadivatya samanena va brahmanena devena va marena va brahmana kena chiva lokasmin de appamana bha devanam satang sotva subhakinhakadev satamano savesong etang bhagavata Varanasi Isipatane Megadaye Anuttara Dhammacha Bhavati Dhamma Padivatiya Samanena Va Brahmanena Devena Va Marena Va Brahmana Jiva lokasmin de subakin hakanang deva satang sotva vihapala deva satamano vesong etang bhagavata varanasiyang isipata Migadaya anuttara dhammacakang bhavati apadevateya samanena manena va devena va marena brahmana va kena chiva lokasmin deve hapala Devanang satang sotva asanya satta deva satta manu veso etam bhagavata varanasiyang isipatan megadaye anuttarang dhammacakam bhavat apadevateya samanena va brahmanena va devena marena va brahmana va kena chiva lokasmin de asanya sattanang deva saddang sotva aviha deva saddamanussave Etang bhagavata varanasiyang isipatane migada anuttaran dhammacakam bhavati tang apativat samanena va brahmanena va devena va Munava kena chiva lokasmin de avihanang anang sadang sotva atapadeva sattamanussave etang bhagavata varanasiyang isipatane migada anuttara dhammacakam bhavati tang apadivati samanena va brahmanena va devena marena va brahmana va kenachi lokasmin de atapanam devanam satang so Sudasi deva saddamanussave so etang bhagava varanasiyang isipatane megadaye anu dhammacakam bhavati tang apadivatiya samanena brahmanena va devena va marena va brahmana kena chiva lokasmin de sudasanang deva Sadang sotva sudasi deva saddamanussave songe bhagavata varanasiyang isipatane migadaye anu macakam bhavati tang apadivatiya samanena brahmanena va devena va marena va brahmana va kena chiva lokasmin Sudasinang devanang ตังโสตวะอคนิทกาเดวะสัตตมนุสาวิโสเอตังภะคะวะตาภารณสิอิสิปตเนมิกดายอนุตตรธัมมจักขังภวัตอาปฏิวัติยาสัมมเนนะวะพระมเนนะเดเวนะวะมาเรนะวะพระมุนาเกนะจิวะโลกัสมินเดอิติหะเตนะคะเนนะเตลาเยนะเตนะโมโหเตนะยาวะพระมโลสัตโตอัปปุกัจฉิอายัญจาดัสสะหัสสิโลกดาสังกัมเบสัมปะกังบเวเดอัปปมาโนจาอุลาโรโอบาโสโลปัตุระโหสิอติกัมมาเดวานันเดนุภาวังอัตโกภะคะวะอิมังมุดามุดาเนสิอัญญาสิวัตโภกุณไดอัญญาสิวัตโภกุณัญโยอิติหิดายัสมากุณัญญาสัญญากุณัญโยเทวนาอโหสิติเอเตนะสัจวัจเจนะโสติเตโหตุสัพเอเตนะสัจวัจเจนะสัพพะทุกขาวินาศตุเอวัจเจนะสัพพะภายาวินาศตุเอนะสัจวัจเจนะสัพพะโรกาวินาศตุเอนะสัจวัจเจนะโหตุเตจยมังกลังเอนะสัจวัจเจนะปัตตุเตรัตนาตยาสัพพิติวิวาจันโตสัพพะโรโกวินาศตุมาภวตุอันตรายโยสุขิติกายุโกภวะภวะสัพพมังคลารักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพนุภาเวนะสดาสุติภวันตุเตภวตุสัพพมังคลารักตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพธัมมานุภาเวนะสดาสุภวันตุเตภวตุสัพพมังคลารักตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนะสดาเทภวันตุเตนะคาตายากพุทธานังวากหนิวารณปริตัสสานุภาเวนะหันตุอุปัฏฐเวเดโววัสสตุกาเลนะสัสสะปฏิเหตุจาภิตุภวตุโลกจาระภวตุธัมมิโกยังดุนิเมภวมังคลังชายโยชามนาปุสะปะปะกะโหตุสุปินังอาคันตังบุทธานุเวนะวิสเมตุธัมมานุวินาสเมตุสังฆานุภาเวนะวิสเมตุอากาสธาจบุมมัตถเดวานา มหิติกาปุญญาตังอนุโมเดภาชิราภ คันตุศาสนาจิราราคันตุเดสนาจิราราตุมังบรเอตาวตาจามเอสัมปตังพุทธะสัพเพอนุโมดันตุสัพเพพุทธานุโมดันตุสัพสัตตานุโมดันตุสัพพสัมปติสิทธิยานิปะปฏิเสธิยาอิดานโนญาตินังโหตุสุขิโหตุญาตโยอิดานโนญาตินังโหตุสุขิโหตุญาตโยอิดานโนญาตินังโหตุสุขิโหตุญาตโยสัพเพพุทธาภลาภปัจเจกานัญจยัมบลาระเจนารักขังบันดามิสัพพสุสัพเพธัมมาบลาอริยสัจจานะจยังบลาธัมมจาสติเจนะรักขังบันดามิสัพพสุสัพเพสัมปลาปัตตวิโมทตานัญจยังบลาสาสนาเจนะรักขังบันดามิสัพพสุกายนวาจิตเตนะปมาเดนะมยากตังอัจฉาธรรมเมตังปุริปัญญาตถาคตกายนวาจาจิตเตนะปมาเดมยากตังอัจฉายังธรรมเมธัมโมสันติเตอาการิโกกายนวาจาจิตเตปมาเดนะมยากตังอัจฉาธรรมเมสังโฆปุญญเจตามนุตตระอิมินาปุญญาคาเมนะมาเมบาลสมากโมสัตตังโตยาวนิมานะปัตติยาอิดาเมปุญญาคัมมาอาสวะคายังวะหังโหสัพพทุกขาปโมจจนิพพานัสสะปัจจโยโหตุสาธุสาธุสาธุ
เ
देखो जी माइक वाला को ऐसा
ಅವನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬನ್ನಿ
चिक चिक करके बेटा कल से बोल रहा है चिक। ये तो हम लोग का जगह है ना। ಬಂತೇಜಿ ಗಿಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೊಡ್ಡವರು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಮೇನ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದು ನಂದು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ये चलता नहीं ना तो इसीलिए तो इसी में तो चलना। हेलो हेलो नमो बुद्धाय। इधर नहीं सुन रहा हूँ। हमारा आदमी या ये तो इधर के लिए ये बाहर के लिए क्यों हेलो हेलो ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? तुम तो अभी कर रहा है भाई, हम तो कल से ट्राई कर रहा हूँ, नहीं हो रहा है। उसको मुंह में कौन कैसा रखेगा? पूरा मुंह में रखना पड़ता है। शुरू करेगा जी, दे दो। नमो बुद्धाय। Homage to the triple gem. Homage at the holy feet of Bada Banteji, our Bada Banteji, because of whom we are all sitting here in this beautiful vihara and paying homage to the triple gem. Today we recited Dhamma Chakka Pavattana Sutta. It was quite long sutta. I hope you have heard and I hope you did meditation. Maybe some of you have taken rest also, but it is okay. Be fresh. And now we will start the next program. So the seating arrangements, आप लोग इनको क्या करना है? ठीक है। आप लोग यहाँ आएंगे, कुशन लेके आ जाए। अपना कुशन लेके आप लोग इस तरफ आ जाइए। फिर हाँ ये लोग माइक इधर, ये लोग क्या करेंगे? सामने आ जाएंगे। इधर इधर और थोड़ा सामने आओ, इधर आओ ना, पत्थर पे आओ। सामने आओ। Yes, please. Either you come or somebody, please come. Sorry to disturb. Sorry for this disturbance, but we can accommodate more people. Those who are standing, may please be seated now. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ okay. How many of you would like to take Ashtashila? Are there any people? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now first Ashtashila and then Panchashila. Modlu Ashtashila, Nantara Panchashila. Yachane Martira, Ashtashila, you come here, no? Then ಬನ್ನಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಬಂದು ಅಷ್ಟಶೀಲ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವವರು ಪತಾ ನೀ ಚಲ್ತಾ है ना कौन कौन ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ याचना कौन आप करेंगे हाँ यस याचನೆ ಮಾಡಿ
Please repeat after me. We are gonna request for 8 December. But before that, all of us pay our celebration to the Holy Sangha, who is sitting here under this beautiful vihara. So this is for all of you. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ವಂದನ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕ್ಷಮಾ ಕೇಳೋಣ. So please everybody repeat after me. O Kasa Vandami Bande Sangho Dwarase Nakatam Sapam Apradam Amadapti Bande Sangho Diyambe O Kasa Vandami Bande Sangho Dwarase Nakatam Sapam Apradam Amadapti Bande Sangho Diyambe O Kasa Vandami Bande Sangho Dwarase Nakatam Sapam Apradam Amadapti Bande Sangho Anukambang Upadaya
Amami kamitabang sukino bhavantu bhavatu sapa mangalang rakantu sapa devata sapa buddhanu bhavena sada soti bhavantu te bhavatu sapa mangalang rakantu sapa devata sapa dhammanu bhavena sada soti bhavantu te bhavatu sapa mangalang rakantu sapa devata sapa sanghanu bhavena sada soti bhavantu te abhivadana sile sanijang uddapachayino chattaro dhamma vadanti ayuano sukhang balang sadhu
Amante Sadhu 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 Yoga Atashila Kirana. Now Israni Asati Osaka Akrangashila Dhammam Yasami Anubhaham Kakwa Shilam Deta Me Bande Dudiyampe Okasar Aham Bande Tisrane Nasati Ubosaka Akrangasilam Dhammam Yasami Anugaham gatva Shilam Tetha Me Bante Tatyampe Okasa Ahangate Israme Asati Osata Akhangashila Dhammam Yachami Anugaham Katva Shilam Detha Me Bante Anukampam Upadaya
Yamahan vadamitan vadetha.
Ama Bante
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sangham saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sangham saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sangham saranang gacchami.
Tisaranagamanang paripunnang.
Amabante.
Manatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinnadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinnadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Nachcha gita vadita visukadassana Mala Gandha Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanathana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Nacha Gita Vadita Visukadasana Mala Ganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanathana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Uchchasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Uchchasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Sadhu 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 tisaranena sadding uposata atthanga silang dhammang sadhukang surakhitam katva appamadena sampadetha.
Amabante sadhu sadhu sadhu.
ಈಗ ಬೇರೆಯವರೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನೀವು ಬೇರೆಯವರೆಲ್ಲ ತ್ರಿಸರಣ ಮತ್ತು ಪಂಚಶೀಲವನ್ನ ಯಾಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ.
Okay, please repeat after me. Okasa ahang bante tisarane nasati panchashila dhammang yachami anugahang katva shilang detha me bante dutiyampe okasa ahang bante tisarane nasati panchashila dhammang yachami anugahang katva shilang detha me bante tatiyampe okasa ahang bante tisarane nasati panchashila dhammang yachami anugahang katva shilang detha me bante anukampang upadaya.
Yamahang wadamitang wadetha.
Amabante.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sangham saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampe buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampe buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampe dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampe dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampe sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampe sangham saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampe buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampe buddhang saranang Saranam Gacchami
Tatyampe Dhammang Saranang Gacchami
Tatyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami
Tatyampe Sanghang Saranang Gacchami
Tatyampi Sangam Saranam Gacchami
Saranaгаmanang Paripunang
Amabante
Anatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami
Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami
Adhinnadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami
Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami
Kame Sumichachara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami
Kame Sumechachara Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami
Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami
Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami
Sura Mriya Majjapama Datthana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami
Sura Meraya Macha Pamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami
Siranena Sating Panchashilang Dhammang Sadhukang Surakhetwang Katva Apamadena Sampadetha
Amabante Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu
Sadhu, 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 sadhu. So many of you have taken Trisarana and Panchashila. Surely it is a great matter of rejoicing. Going for refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and the sowing the seed of enlightenment in your hearts is not an ordinary achievement in your lives. So keep progressing on the path of Dhamma. On this auspicious occasion, sitting in front of this magnificent Supreme Buddha, fully decorated by all our monks yesterday evening, whole night, and some of the devotees, they joined. Every flower putting out of Saddha, here, stupa, bodhi tree, everywhere. And all of you have come to listen to this Dhamma, and you have heard the Dhammacakka Pavattana Sutta, the first discourse of the Buddha, which we chanted, the Four Noble Truths enunciated fully by the Supreme Buddha, and the Noble Eightfold Path as the middle path towards enlightenment. So we will learn something more. Today's this main Dhamma discourse will be given by Venerable Bhikkhu Buddhadatta Bhanteji, Director of our Mahabodhi Research Center. Now I request Bhanteji to give Dhamma.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, homage to the Perfect One, homage to the Supremely Enlightened One, the Buddha. Homage and salutation to our most beloved teacher, Venerable Dr. Acharya Buddharakkhita, the founder, president of Mahabodhi, Bangalore. Homage to our abbot and president, most venerable Kassapa Bhante, who is presiding here and gracing this Buddha Purnima. Salutation to Anand Bhante and all the holy Sangha who are present here. Dear venerable monks and upasakas and upasikas, a hearty greetings of Vesakha, Buddha Purnima. Greetings to every one of you who have joined here and who are joining online. Today is the very important day in the history of Buddha Sasana, as we are, as the Buddha Ratana, the jewel of Lord Buddha, his birth and his enlightenment and his Mahaparinibbana, all these blessed events have occurred on the same day. That is why it is called as the most blessed event in the history of even mankind. Blessed is the birth of the Buddhas. In the Dhammapada, it is said that Sukho Buddhanang Upado, Sukho Saddhamma Desana, Sukha Sanghassa Samaggi, Samagganang Tapo Sukho. The appearance of Lord Buddha is very rarest of rare phenomena, which the entire humanity have witnessed. Buddhas are born after a long period of time, unthinkable, uncountable period of time. And the Buddhas, they born and they bring about the enlightenment. Buddhas are the enlightener. They are the savior of this humanity. Buddha is himself is the liberated one, and he brings about liberation from bondages, from suffering. Buddha's appearance is the most sublime appearance. His teachings is the most sublime one. And his final passing away, he has entered into Parinibbana, most worthiest manner. So this perfect one, the supreme enlightened Buddha, is the flower of this mankind. Today, we are all here to commemorate this Buddha Purnima. As we will now learn the Dhamma, that what makes the Buddha, how he attained that supremely enlightened one, and what happened when the Buddhas appear into this world. Buddha have sacrificed countless lives for all of us. From the time of Sumedha Pandita, when he received the prophecy from Lord Dipankara, from that time onwards, till his last birth as in the Vesantara Jataka, till he was born as Prince Siddhartha, he had to undergo a lot of sufferings and troubles. One of the driving forces is the Karuna, Mahakaruna, the infinite compassion, which is the driving force, because of which the Bodhisattva, the enlightened being, he endured all suffering. Now, when the Buddha's birth occurred, you all know that the Buddha was born at Lumbini Vana, Lumbini Park, on Vesakha Purnima. In the most serene and sublime atmosphere, in this Lumbini Vana, our Bodhisattva Siddhartha was born. You know, when he was born, the first words of the Bodhisattva, he says, Aggo hamasmi lokassa, cetto hamasmi lokassa, setto hamasmi lokassa, ayang antima jati nattidani vat punam bhavati. That is the first verse the baby, the future Buddha, he uttered. Similarly, when he attained his enlightenment, he breathed forth the Udana, Aneka Jati Sansarang, Sandhavi Sang Aniprisang, Gahakarakang Gave Santo Dukha Jati Punapun. Gahakarakaditosi Punagehang Nakahasi, Sabbati Fasuka Vagga, Gahakutang Visankatang. So he says, through many lives, millions of lives, I have wandered forth in this aimless and endless samsara, which we are also going through now, but never knowing who is the builder of this house, who has built this samsara conditioned world, recurring existence, birth and death, again rebirth, and the continued existence. And the Buddha found out that our own avijja and craving was the creator. Similarly, when he passed away, entered into parinirvana, the Buddha uttered his last words as Vayadhamma Sankhara Appamadena Sampadeta. Well, I am not going to tell about all these three events. Many of you already know this, but we will go back what happened during this preparation as the Bodhisattva was preparing himself to attain to this supreme enlightenment. So when the Buddha actually, it is said in the Buddha Vangsa, it is very touching indeed that how the enlightenment being the Bodhisattva fulfilled his parami not only one time, two times, but three times over. It is called parami, upaparami, paramattha parami. 10 paramis, three times over. You know those paramis are the highest and exalted virtues. Danan, silang, dana, sila, nekhamma. Charity, a generosity, virtue, renunciation, wisdom and effort and patience, determination, metta and karuna, ubekha. All these are the qualities he had to fulfill, prepare himself. But it is said that how many lives he has undergone, it is very touching indeed from the Buddha Vangsa. He says, So sagare jaladhikang rudirang nadasi. If you count his blood, you see the drop of blood which he has given, it is more greater in amount than the ocean, than the great ocean. So sagara means ocean, jaladhikang, more than the water in this great ocean. Similarly, Bhuming parajitang samansang adasi. If you equate earth, if you compare the flesh, in so many lives, not only one or two lives, if you compare his dana, I think this Buddha wants to say that this earth is even lesser. The amount of flesh the Bodhisattva had sacrificed. Similarly, Meru Pamanang Adhikancha Samolisisan, his crown head, many times he had to surrender his life for the sake of saving, for the sake of finding out that infinite wisdom, just because of compassion for all humanity, just to find out the way out of the suffering. Similarly, if we take the example of his eyes, the analogy is Taraka Adhikatarang Nayanang Adasi. His Nayana, the eyes, even more than these stars and planets. You can imagine how much sacrifice, how much of renunciation in life after life until he attained the Buddhahood. That says how a Bodhisattva fulfilled his parami. This is not like us actually. The paramis, Bodhisattva, once they taken off the Buddhahood, the path of Buddhahood, They have to fulfill as what is called Sabbha Sabhava. 4 different ways that the Bodhisattva, they develop the parami. Nirantara, continuous, and then Chirakala, for a long time, continuous in a sustained manner, not only in one life, but all successive lives. And finally, with sincerity, with sakkachang, with seriousness, with aiming of that goal, only one goal, one day I will become the Sammasambuddha. For us, our determination is nothing in compared to the Bodhisattva. Our efforts are not continuous. Our determination is not so strong. For Bodhisattva, he is ready to sacrifice life after life. Human, as a deva, as even born in animal kingdoms. Now, when this finally, after completing his all the paramitas, he born into this world and bringing the light of Dhamma, and finally he discovered the noble truths. Finally found out the path to awakenment. Now, when this happens, it says that a glorious radiance, a measurable, measureless, glorious radiance become manifest, surpassing the divine majesty. It says the Buddha, when he appeared, when he attained enlightenment, when he preached teachings, and finally when he entered into parinibbana, Abhutang Acharyam Dhammang Padubhavati. Measureless, you can't measure. Boundless and amazing and wonderful events occurred in this world. The light of Bodhi, surpassing the minds of human beings, devas and brahmas, but to that extent that it reaches to the darkest place, impenetrable places where beings are grooming in darkness. To that place also the Buddha's light reach, to the 10,000 world system, where the sun and moon cannot able to do that. The light of sun and moon is very limited. The magic is not so powerful, but the Buddha's light, the Dhamma, surpassing all the majesty of divine realms, and it reaches to that gloomy and darkest corner where when suddenly some flashes of lightning happens and the beings, they realized some other being has appeared. They could see each other. They could realize that the Buddha have arisen in this world. The Dhamma has arisen, the Sangha has arisen. So, if you take this example of Dhamma, how wondrous and astounding indeed. Asarya and Abhutang Dhammang. Now coming to a very practical teachings, before the Buddha's appearance, what happened? After the Buddha appears, what happens actually? Now, before the Buddha's appearance, before he could teach the Dhamma, in this world, the Buddha says, Chatarame bhikkhave Dhamma, Acharya Abhutang Dhamma Patibhavati. 4 astounding and wondrous events happen again. Before the Buddha appeared, now the beings, including human beings, we all are grouping and just we are enveloped in what is called alaya. Alaya Rama Bhikkhave Alaya Rata. The mankind, they delight in attachment, they delight in clinging. Me, I, me and mine. They're clinging to their positions, they're clinging to the sensual places. For them, there is no way out of the sensual world. Alaya means attachment. Now, this attachment is also pertaining to our own body and mind. When we say the Panchakhanda, that is also subject to attachment. Nobody knew that how to get rid of this attachment. We know attachment is heavy. When you cling to this body and mind, to this panchakanda, that is heavier. And whatever is heavy, it is not pleasant at all. But beings, they don't know that things are impermanent. These things are subject to change. All are anitya dhamma. Even the loftiest, highest existence, or for example, in our life, you get all the possible enjoyment, so-called, through the sense pleasures. But those enjoyment are subject to change. Sooner or later, this will change. And we seek delight in it, another object. That's what Buddha says, Yayang tanha tattha tattha avinandati. Kama tanha bhavatanha vibhavatanha. Now, how we take delights in one or another object, clinging to that, developing craving to that. Because of that, we caught up in this bondage. But when the Buddha appeared and started to teach the Dhamma about analaya dhamming desati, when he teaches about non-clinging, non-attachment, then beings, they give ear, they lend their ears, they pay the attention, they try to understand, oh, there is something beyond this Kamaloka. There is something beyond this day-to-day life existence, day in and out. We are just doing the same thing, but we are not seeking out something nobler, something higher, something greater. That is the first wondrous, astounding event, Patama Acharya Abhuta Dhamma. So, Anicca, Buddha teaches about that these attachments. He also teaches about the benefits of dana, sila, and bhavana. But also the Buddha teaches to go further, to develop the insight and wisdom. Coming to the next part, Mana Rama Vikave. The beings, they are delight in ego, delight in conceit and pride of any kind. Now you may name it. If I ask you, what for you develop that conceit? Why when a being is conceited and proud about the wealth, the positions, your so-called education degrees, your so-called status, or your so-called caste, or higher or low, or you may think about the in different ways of, even some people say, I am so wiser. My mind is higher than you. My religion is higher than your religions. My country is powerful than your country. They start to compete among themselves. So many different ways, manas. Mana Rama Bhikkhave. But then they take delight in that ego or developing so-called I-ness and minus. But the Buddha teaches about Mana Vinaya. You have to give up your ego. Ultimately, there is no self. When you understand the Panchakanda, what is there within you, you call it as self. You say Atta, or everything revolves around this I. Whereas the Panchakanda is Anatta. There is nothing to delight into that. So when we don't find any way out of this mana, the Buddha teaches a Dhamma which we can put down our ego. We let go our conceit and we become humble. We listen to his Dhamma, develop the gratitude and humility. We develop the patience within us. So Mana Vinaya, Dhamma is to let go your ego and become zero, selfless. Because ultimately, what matters is your own karma, your own actions. Your good and bad deeds will go along with you. So that is the second wonderful and amazing events happened When the Buddha teaches the Dhamma, then people understand and they pay attention to what the Buddha is teaching. Mana Rama Bhikkhave. Then we go to the third one. When there is mana, then Buddha says, when the beings are just caught up in agitation, depression, or you can say lack of calmness and tranquility in their mind. Now, for example, before the Buddha or before if Buddha teaches the Dhamma to pacify the mind. But some people, they take delights in excitement, so-called excitement. For example, during COVID times, you are all at your homes and you have nothing to do. You are enjoying peace at home. Do you find peace while you're at home? You are finding it so boredom, and to get rid of that boredom, you resort to certain kind of excitement. And then you may end up in depression. You may end up in so many sort of mental agitation because you have not watched your breath. When the Bhantes teach, well, observe the breath, let us calm down the mind. But how many of you heard that before? Before the Buddha arrived, nobody knew this path. Nobody knew that how to pacify the mind, how to calm the mind and develop it, purify it. When the Buddha says mindfulness, develop your mindfulness and comprehension, then you realize peace. You let go your agitation, you let go your restlessness, and you gain the peace of mind. That is the wonderful wonders of Buddha's teaching. So, upasamaye, Buddha says, upasamike dhammang desati. Buddha's teaching, which brings peace, which brings tranquility, which brings calmness to our mind. If not, then we simply just enjoy our life, and it is normal for us to suffer. It becomes a normal thing that we will have to suffer. But when there is a way out of the suffering, then the fourth wondrous and very astounding events occur. Avijja, avijjarata, avijjagata bhikkhave, avijjarata. Before the Buddha appeared, there was total darkness. There may be some sort of Dhamma, some sort of preachings, but those teachings will not lead to the enlightenment. When beings are enveloped in darkness, or we are just become like an egg. We are just like an egg, and we are inside that cell and don't know when we will break that cell and come out and we see the light. Imagine you are in that cell of ignorance. Before the Buddha, we don't know how to get out of that ignorance, that avijja. So Buddha says, under Buddha, the beings are covered in just like an egg. Then the Buddha teaches how to get rid of that avijja. Avijja vinaye dhammang desati. That means you have to develop the wisdom. Avijja vinaya means you have to develop wisdom. Only through practice of Dhamma, only the Buddha's teachings can bring about that insight and wisdom, thereby can purify our minds. So, in nutshell, we would say that these four events, after the Buddha appeared, after his birth, enlightenment, and parinibbana, now these sort of wonderful events occurred. So, now, as I said, avijja, to To get rid of that avijja, we have to bring the vijja, the light of Dhamma. This light of Dhamma can actually expel, can remove that inner darkness. Now, Buddha is just like the sun, the Dhamma sun. When the sun arises, you know, you can say the surpassing brightness and the light will just spread across. It just spread around to every directions, and with that light, the beings awaken. We wake up. Otherwise, we would have been sleeping very deeply. So the light is the light of the Dhamma. When you lighten off that Dhamma within your heart, that means you brighten your life. You brighten up your mind and you practice further. You develop the mind and purify the mind through wisdom, through compassion. And finally, you can be an enlightened person. So another example is the Buddha teaches the Dhamma just like the spring season, springtime. Gimhana Mase, like this is the month of May, and we can see so many beautiful flowers, and the entire environment is so beautiful. You see, isn't it? You see so many flowers, and they are naturally offering this flower to the Buddha. Now, when the Buddha teaches the Dhamma, our mind also happened like that. The light, that flower of Buddhahood, the flower of Buddhahood just appeared in our heart. Now, what is that flower of Buddhahood? If I give an example of one lotus flower, there may be different types of lotuses. And this lotus may be blue, white, or pink, or any kind of lotus you name. They born under a muddy water. They grow under that water. And they rise till the bottom, till the surface of the water. And finally, they go above the water. Right? And once the sunlight shines and falls on that flower, it blooms. It just gives its fragrance and radiance to all directions. Now, there are so many, that is the reason that beings are born in this world, but we can still outgrow, we can go beyond this. The conditioned reality, the conditioned phenomena or the samsara is no doubt, it is not a happy place, right? It's not a happy place. But if it is suffering and it is conditioned moment to moment, then what a wise person should do is he should develop sila, samadhi, and panya. Now Buddha says, sila, what is that sila? If I give an example of that flower, the first petal of that lotus is sila. When you cleanse your body, mind, and speech through sila, through virtues, through 5 precepts or 8 precepts, that means you are actually, that is the first lotus petal of that beautiful flower. And when you grow further, you develop your mind, and then you make your mind more beautiful through meditation, through mindfulness, through metta bhavana. Then you have one more petal added there. Further, when you develop patience and endurance, when you put forth effort, wisdom, comprehension, then you have panya with you. With this sila, samadhi, and panya, and with freedom, you will see the nectar. You see that a complete lotus flower blossom in your heart. Now, here we have to understand, dear upasakas and upasikas, Buddha has sacrificed so much, meant so much for us. Can we not do a small thing for the Buddha? 2566th Buddha Jayanti. Can we not pay our gratitude to Lord Buddha for all the sacrifices, for all the troubles and suffering he has undergone? When do you develop the mind then? If not now, Buddha has arisen, he has teaching, given the Dhamma, the Sangha is there, we have the right opportunity to practice the Dhamma. But are you really awake? Are you really serious, sincere enough to put forth into practice? Because the puja which you are giving, the puja should be the Patipatti puja, where you practice. Through your practice only you can pay gratitude to Lord Buddha. That is how the Buddha reminded us when he was passing away. The Buddha said, Vayadhamma sankhara apamadena sampadeta. That means all the conditioned phenomena, whatever you can name, everything is conditioned. Your body and mind is conditioned. Your feelings, whatever you can name, your perception, your vijnana, your khanda, your life itself is conditioned. There's nothing in the world is unconditioned except nibbana. When you enter into that dimension, then you are not subject to birth and death and rebirth. But for that, you have to practice. You have to cut off your avijja, tanha, and upadana, the clinging. As I said, the attachment in the first thing Buddha says, alaya rama, beings are cut off in this whole net of attachment. And they know that attachments bring suffering, misery, but still they don't want to come out of it. Right? Mana is subject to suffering, but we take delight in that mana. We say, I am superior. My spiritual teacher is superior. I am superior than you. I'm more qualified than you, so-called. I'm more smarter than you. Similarly, we are ignorant and deluded, but still we think that we are very wise. If you're wise really, then why you just get out of this world? Why you still cling to this? So this is the amazing teachings of Lord Buddha. So today on this auspicious, very sacred and blessed day, we call it as the blessed event, the thrice blessed event. On this day, the Buddha Ratana, our supreme Buddha, have arisen in the world. Buddha arisen means his body also arisen. And once he set in motion that body, he infused that body for the well-being and happiness of all mankind. And the Sangha is the living examples. Having gone to refuge to this Buddha Dhamma Sangha, you can really pay gratitude to the Buddha. As I said, you have to really build up your own flowers within your heart. You have to make your life more fragrant, more meaningful. You have to make your own vihara a safe place to go to refuge. When you are away from home, but finally go back your home. If I ask you, sit down, you stay here in vihara, how many of you are going to stay here? Except maybe the Papaja monks. The Papaja monks also have to go back because they are here for temporary. So home is a safe place. But you know, our home is really the Dhamma. Go back to your home. Establish your mind. Calm down your mind. Observe the breath every day. Practice Dhamma. Then only you can, your mind is secured. Then only you protect yourself. And when you protect yourself, that means you are free from sufferings. So with this Dhamma message today, may you all grow in Dhamma. May you see the Dhamma and practice the Dhamma in your life and realize the Dhamma. And one day, may you be free from all kind of suffering and attain to that supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu. Okay. I wish you all a very happy Buddha Purnima once again. Thank you. Sukhira.
दो किताब है ना और
रिसर्च सेंटर
नमो बुद्धाय ಭಂತೇಜಿ ಅವರಿಂದ ಅಚ್ಚರಿಯ ಅದ್ಭುತ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಂಡ್ರಿ. ಭಗವಾನ್ ಬುದ್ಧರ ಹೃದಯದ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಅದೆಂತ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಉದಯ ಆದಾಗ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕತ್ತಲು ಹೋಗುತ್ತದೆಯೋ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಈ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಬುದ್ಧ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ ಆದಾಗ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಂಧಕಾರ ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಮಾನ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಪ್ಪು ದೃಷ್ಟಿ ಇವುಗಳು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹೋಗ್ತವೆ ಅಂತ ಭಂತೇಜಿ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇವತ್ತು 2 ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳನ್ನ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ. We are going to release 2 books. I request our Kasapa Bhanteji to release the book. One is Buddhist devotional practices of Bada Bhanteji, Manual of Buddhist devotional practice, written by our Bada Bhanteji. Yes. Now this book has seen, I think about this is 12th edition, 12 times. So you can see how much in demand this book is. It contains the everyday puja and some very basic Dhamma teachings, translated by Bada Bhanteji, our most venerable Acharya Buddharakita Bhanteji there. His English and his expression is so beautiful, so correct and very, very touching. So please possess 1 copy of this. And this is offered by our Dr. Rajanandamurthy family. SS Ganga, Madhusudan, Mohan Kumar, Chetana, Shilpi, Vesakha, Tushita, Piyadasi, Shakyavamsi, Dhamma Vandana, Anoja, specially merit transferred to all beings and to Sri and Ramesha and departed family and friends. So in their name, they have printed it. May all the merits come to the whole family. So those who don't have this one, please keep this. It contains all the pujas in Pali and in English. Now I request Kasapa Bhanteji to release 2nd book. मैं अनाउंस कर रहा हूँ, मैं अपने से कैसा करूँ? But if Bhante releases, it is like all of us are releasing only. ಇದು 10 ರತ್ನ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂತ 10 ರತ್ನ. ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಕ್ಷರದಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು ಮುಂಚೆ. This one now it is ಇದು 10 ರತ್ನ. 10 means hand Ratna means gem, jewel. If you have this one in your hand, then you have jewel in your hand. Why? Because it contains all the Parita Suttas. Uh, all the Parita Suttas of um, which we chant in the night, throughout the night. Ratri ಇಡೀ ಪಠಣ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. And then of course half of it contains Patimokha, 227 rules of bhikkhus. And also there are Kamma Vachas. Kamma Vacha means they are meant only for bhikkhus, their procedures, Vinaya procedures. So these are the things. Earlier we had in Kannada, sorry, in English, and now it has been transcribed by Upasaka Mahadev Kallarepur. Mahadev Kallarepur is here. He took lot of trouble. For 1 year, he has transcribed. ಇದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಹಿಡಿತು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅಕ್ಷರದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಮಹಾಪುಣ್ಯ ಆಗಲಿ. ವಿ ವಿಶ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್. ಮೇ ಇಟ್ ಬಿ ಮೇ ದ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬುದ್ಧ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅಕ್ಷರ. ಕನ್ನಡ ಭಾಷೆ ಇದರಿಂದ ಶ್ರೀಮಂತ ಆಯ್ತು. ಕನ್ನಡ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸುಂದರವಾದ ಸುತ್ತಗಳು, ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಪಾಟಿಮುಖ ಮೊಟ್ಟ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅಕ್ಷರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲದರ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಬರಲಿ, ಸುಖಿ ಅನ್ನಂತೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇ वजीरा कुछ लाओ बोला बनते जी, इनको कुछ देना मांगता है. ये मामूली काम नहीं है. It is not an easy work, you know. And to correct spellings, Kannada spellings, is not that easy. ಇನ್ನು ನೀವು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಿ, ಧಮ್ಮದ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಿ. Yes, Wazira is the next.
Thank you very much, Gandhi. Myself, working on a single project with Mr. Shivaya. Mr. Shivaya from Hyderabad, who met Anand Bante at the airport. And when Anand Bante about Mahabodhi and the monks, he was quite inspired to hear about such an existence. And then he later contacted me. He visited 10 days ago. So when he saw our activities, he was very inspired and encouraged, and it was touched for him. He is from HIM International Certification, who certifies ISO 9001 Quality Management Certificate. So he came today from Hyderabad all the way to give Mahabodhi Society, Mahabodhi Maitri Mandala, and Mahabodhi Research Center the ISO certificate. We are the first Buddhist organization in all of India to receive this certificate for our standard of management in every department. So may I request, Shivai Alhad, who conducted all this quality check, to come forward and present the certificate to Most Venerable Kassapa Mahathera, who is the president of Mahabodhi Society.
Yeah, please come forward.
May I request Shivaya sir to give Mahabodhi Vetri Mandala in the hand of Puja Ananda Bhattaji, General Secretary of Mahabodhi and sister organization. And as when I explain about Christ's blessed day, so he wanted to give 3 certificates. So this is for Mahabodhi Research Center. May I request you to give to Master Dante, Director of Mahabodhi Research Center. Sanjay. Yes. Okay, we come here. Yeah, we will take a group photo. Before that, we would like to honor you for this great, gratitude. May I request Hazan to honor? Thank you very much for coming and providing this certificate. May I request you to receive the blessing from Kasapa Bhanteji and a beautiful Buddha statue on this beautiful day. Okay, you can hold that and come next to me. Here. Okay. Thank you so much, Shivaji, for awarding this certificate to Mahabodhi Society, Mahabodhi Mandala, and also to our research center. This gives us more encouragement and also a lot of energy to work more and more. And our purpose is Mahabodhi Society, especially for reaching out to with the message of the Buddha as little as possible through different kinds of activities. Mahabodhi Maitri Mandala, as you have seen, is for conducting humanitarian activities, charitable activities, educational, medical, and environmental. And Mahabodhi Research Center is especially for Buddhist courses. Thank you so much for all the coming from
Hyderabad and making a lot of inspections and checking, and that we are going to get this. We wish you and your organization, all the responsible persons, a very, very big thank you from all of us here.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of Israel International Certification, Hyderabad, myself, Shivaya, I'm the Managing Director of Israel International Certification. I am certified ISO certification in Bangalore National Public School. That time I'm going to the airport, I started and met the sir, and also we discussed how we are functioning in our organization. What are the practices they are following? After 15 days, they called me and verify what the system they maintain the internal in their organization. So after 10 days, I came to this organization. I saw the administration procedures of this society, and I also verified the classroom, how they are running the classroom, other practices they are following, and also I saw their hostel facilities. They have smart signals and how they are, what are the facilities they have provided for this society. Really, it is a really 100%. We are satisfied what they are providing to the students and other members of the organization. So after seeing all, we feel very happy and we are satisfied. And I sent the report to our accreditation body ASCDDA, and after getting the approval, we have shared this certification. So we are also feel very happy. It is the first Buddha organization to receive the international quality certifications across India.
Thank
And ISO certification is a quality assurance certification. Keep continuing the same standards and keep continuing the same services to the public. And also, this certification will help you where we are stand on the systems and procedures to maintain the organization. We also want the message to the public. They follow a very best standards to the internal processes. And every year, again, this is a valid to 1 year. And every year, again, we come, we'll have a procedure. We follow the procedure. As per the procedure, after completion of the audit, we again issue the new certifications to our organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shivaji. So, this is it is all the blessings of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and Bada Banteji. We didn't even know that such thing exists. But in the airport, just chatting, he saw maybe some strange clothes. So he went, came and discussed, and then it developed like that. So thank you very much. Once again, Iga Nama Parama Pujya Kasapa Bhanteji ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷೀಯ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. I request Bada, our Bhanteji, Kasapa Bhanteji, our president and above, to give the presidential address.
One minute, yeah. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to Buddha, homage to Dhamma, and homage to Sangha. Dear venerables in the dayas, venerable monks, dear devout upasakas, upasikas. Today is very special day for the sake of truth and love of peace. And we know that today, on this day, Vesakha Punnami, the Siddhartha Gautama born under the tree at Lumbini. Today, our Honorable Prime Minister also visiting that holy place. And on this occasion, Urvila, now the Buddha Gaya, under the Bodhi tree, Siddhartha Gautama attend enlightenment. And the same day, under the Bodhi tree, Kushinagar, the Buddha attend Parinibbana. Therefore, this day is very special for us. Venerable Buddha Tata has already mentioned those who are advanced, those who know something Buddhism, on Buddhism. Those are newcomers. We have to do three things. Pariyati, Patipata, Pativeda. First we to learn, study who the Buddha is. Then Dhamma, what is Dhamma? Without knowing, we cannot practice. There are many people, they know the whole Tipitaka. I know this, I know Four Noble Truth, Eightfold Path. And if they not put into practice, that knowledge is no useful. Therefore, what we learn, try to practice in your daily life. Dhamma is not apart from your day-to-day activities. Dhamma is not in the temple, in the vihara. Dhamma is always you with your actions, physical action, mental action, and verbal action. After knowing this, we can practice who the Buddha is. The Venerable already mentioned Dhamma is. So, if we don't practice, like if we are sick, go to the doctor, a very well-known doctor, and the doctor gives a very good prescription, well-known prescription. Then the sick man go to the home and say that the doctor is very intelligent, very well-known, very good, and this prescription is very nice. Then he doesn't take the medicine, doesn't buy the medicine, he will not cure. In the same way, if we study, learn, don't practice in the food, no get any result. So you know that Buddha says some actions are good, some actions are bad. Then keep up with the bad things and do the good things. Even you are not good. Why? Your mind is not pure. Therefore, you have to purify your mind by reciting, by doing puja, by asking the God or something. If you are a cruel person, you know I have these weaknesses. Then without trying to remove, without trying to encourage to remove this, you just pray, it doesn't work. The same way, just like the medicine without taking, therefore, you have to purify the mind. Other people not purify our mind. The God cannot purify our mind. Buddha cannot purify our mind. Your teacher, your parent cannot purify the mind. Only way to do to ourselves. By doing this, I have weakness. Reducing, doing the more and more meditate this, we can overcome all these weaknesses, these are the defilement. Then we come to know who the Buddha is, the teaching is. Therefore, our purpose of learning is to practice the Dhamma in our daily life. Then you can get very peaceful, happy atmosphere in your home, in your society. Therefore, today is very special. We have learned so many things from the Bhante, and you come all the way to participate in this program. And you have acquired a lot of merits. That merits goes with all the will go with us. So therefore, I wish you that you all come all the way, renouncing you are today. You can go somewhere to enjoy. In spite of that, you give up this and came to the Vihara to listen to the Dhamma. I hope then you will benefit from this program. So with this, with the blessing of Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and by the blessing of all the monks, our Guruji, all you live long, good health and peace of mind. Thank you.
ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಭಂತೇಜಿಯವರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಬಹಳ ಸಂಕ್ಷಿಪ್ತವಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪರಿಯತ್ತಿ ಪಟಿಪತ್ತಿ ಪಟಿವೇದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಓದ್ಬೇಕು, ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟು ಈ ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅವರ ಗುಣಗಾನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾ? ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಬರೀ ಗುಣಗಾನ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಡ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಭಂತೇಜಿ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮುಕ್ತಾಯಗೊಳಿಸೋಣ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ 3 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಒಂದು ಸಂವಾದದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿ. those who have questions, we will have one very nice session from 3 o'clock. If you have any questions, you are welcome to ask. So here we conclude this program. Please have lunch and then you can continue your meditation, or you can join here a session. And evening at 6 o'clock we will have again puja and concluding session. So whole day program we are having. तो अभी इधर खत्म करेगा ना. We will do the blessing.
वाल्मीकि स्वामी जी है, वो आज के ओकेजन पे कोई कैंडल जलाना चाहते हैं, कोई जलाना चाहते हैं।
कैंडल जला के किताब स्कार्फ बुक सेट ಈಗ ಭಗವಾನ್ ಬುದ್ಧರ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರಲಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ವಾಲ್ಮೀಕಿ ಪ್ರಸನ್ನಾನಂದ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಹಾಬೋಧಿ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಧಮ್ಮ ಕಾಣಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳನ್ನ ಕಿತಾಬ್ ನಾವು जला के डाल सकते हैं.
कैंडल देता ना, जला के मार देगा। छोटा वाला
सुखी हो तू. ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಆಶ್ರಮ ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ದಾವಣಗೆರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ 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 ಓಕೆ.
In short, week we will conclude this program. After this program, there is lunch for all the people. Please have lunch, and after the lunch, with a short break, at 3 o'clock we meet again for the conversation. After that, there is a tea break, and immediately program under the rotation. We thanks to our committee for coming in this occasion. Now we will end this program with the chanting and the
Bhaveyani dukho aham nichan aham viya hitachame sukhi huntu majhata chataverino imam higamakhe tami Satahantu sukhe sada tato paranchara jesu chakavale sujantuno sadhu sadhu sadhu. ಮತ್ತೆ 3 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಜೊತೆಗೂಡೋಣ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಮೋ ಬುದ್ಧಾಯ. ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬರ್ ಐ ಸಿ
ವಸ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಂದರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಕೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಬಂದು